My daughter mentioned something yesterday about how her kids love the sausage rice that she makes, which is a recipe I gave her a long time ago, which is really the easiest recipe in the world. You just use a roll of Jimmy Dean sausage, you brown it, don't drain it. You can even add a little bit of olive oil to it. And then in the meantime, you just cook about 2 cups of rice. And when the rice is done and the Jimmy Dean sausage is browned, you just toss them together. That's the recipe. But I had an idea tonight of what to do because I've done this before as well. We ate spaghetti the last 2 nights and I had some noodles left over from the spaghetti. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown the Jimmy Dean sausage, and I'm just throwing in an onion because I have a bunch of onions right now and I love onions. So I'm going to brown those two together, add a little bit of olive oil just to give it a little bit of you don't want it dried out. You want it a little moist so that when you toss it with these leftover noodles, it binds to it and you end up with a really good meal. You can call this sausage noodles. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, and this is a cheap supper. To go with it, I'm just going to reheat some Texas cream peas. I grew them a couple of years ago. I had them canned. I popped open a jar yesterday to serve with the spaghetti and heated them up. So tonight I'm just going to reheat those. I just want to throw this out there because this is a quick and easy thing to do. If you're coming from ball games and your kids are hungry, you can literally have this ready to go in just the time that it takes you to either boil some noodles or make some rice, which is only about 20 minutes. And if you already have leftovers like I do, really and truly you can have this ready in 15 minutes. So stay out of the drive-thrus and try to cook things at home if you can. So I'll show you as it's cooking, and I'll show it tossed together at the end, and that'll give you a good idea on something you can cook. You just put your sausage in the pan and kind of crush it up just like it's ground meat. I added an onion. You don't have to. I like to do that though, but you can keep it on the cheap and leave the onion out. I'm adding just a little bit of olive oil to this. Just kind of like that. You don't drain the meat, so you keep that grease, but I always add a little extra fat to it. It just binds that much better with the rice or with the noodles. You don't have to use olive oil. You can use whatever else you have. Throw a couple pats of butter in there. You could use a little tallow, a little bit of cooking oil if that's what you have, a little ghee, anything else you want, bacon grease. I went ahead and put my noodles in a bigger pot. I'm going to toss the meat with them in the end. But I went ahead and put it on a low temperature, like 2. I don't want to start cooking these noodles because they're completely done. But I do want to heat them through. They'll absorb better with the grease and the meat and the onions if they're a little warm rather than sitting here cold. You just definitely don't want it to be cold because when you toss the meat and the onions in with it, you want it to be ready to go. You want it to be supper. So go ahead and heat the noodles up just a little bit to get them going, and then it'll all come together really good. Here's the final product in the pot. It looks very, very good. You can use hamburger meat for this, but just remember the Jimmy Dean sausage already has all the seasonings in it, and it's just kind of ready to go. So you didn't see me add any seasonings because it's already in the sausage and it tastes delicious. But feel free to use ground meat or some other type of bulk sausage if you want to. There it is, and it looks delicious. I can't wait to eat it because I love this. I love it with rice too, either way. The Jimmy Dean sausage cost me $3.49. I'm going to say 50 cents for the noodles. It was about 6 ounces of noodles. And then the little peas, I'm not going to really claim any amount of money for those because I grew them and I've had them in my pantry a couple of years and it was just convenient to pop them out. So for a $4 dinner, this is going to feed 3 adults tonight, and I'll bet you I'll have some lunch left over for tomorrow, maybe even the next day. You can't beat that with a stick. I hope y'all enjoyed this, y'all, and I hope you try it because it's delicious. This is Lainey at Hilltop Home Place. Bye-bye.